Hello, everybody. This is Mrs. Thomas, and today I'm coming to you with some more read alouds, and we're going to keep celebrating some of our April days of fun. We're going to start off by celebrating April the 8th, which will be Thursday of this week, and that is Zoo Lovers Day. So these are people who like to go to the zoo. So for that, I borrowed from the Johnson County Library Candace Fleming's Cubs in the Tub. This is the true story of the Bronx Zoo's first woman zookeeper. Okay, illustrations are by Julie Downing. So let's get started. Helen and Fred Martini longed for a baby, a baby to bottle feed and burp, a baby to rock and soothe and croon lullabies to, a baby to love with all their hearts. Every morning, let me get that. Every morning, Fred went off for his job at the Bronx Zoo, and you can see all the different things he would do. Helen stayed home to dream and plan, but still there was no baby. Helen had never held a lion cub before, much less cared for one. Still, she took the baby in her arms. He was so tiny, so newborn, his eyes were still closed. Just do for him what you would for a human baby. Why isn't he with his mother? She says. Fred explained the mother lion had lost the instinct to take care of their baby. She wouldn't feed him. She wouldn't clean him. She refused to even look at him. Helen cradled the baby close. She marveled at the tiny buds of ears and the tender pink undersides of his toes. MacArthur. I'll name you MacArthur, she said. The first thing MacArthur needed was a good bath. Good thing Helen had a baby tub. She sang a lullaby as she sponged his fur. Soon he was as fluffy and soft as a lamb. MacArthur gave a husky cry. Good thing she had those baby bottles and all those cans of formula milk. MacArthur slurped. Then, a gentle pat on his back brought up the bubbles in his belly. With a sigh, the baby snuggled his downy head into the curve of Helen's neck. His sweet breath warmed her skin. Tiptoeing to the crib, good thing she had one, she tucked him in. Curling his little legs beneath him, MacArthur dreamed. And grew. Helen kept a record of his first. On their 11th day together, MacArthur opened his eyes. On their 15th together, he got his first tooth. And on their 21st day together, he took his first stumbling steps. And it says, a great day. Soon, MacArthur was pouncing at Helen's ankles, chewing on Fred's boots, and leaping into their laps whenever either of them sat down. What a joy it was to have a baby in the house. But when MacArthur was 2 months old, officials decided to send him to a zoo in another city. Helen held her baby close until the car came and tried to smile as MacArthur was driven away. She then folded up the baby blankets, stowed the tub, crib, and bottles, and sank into the rocking chair with empty arms and an empty lap. Gray day followed gray day until, make a prediction here. What do you think's going to happen? Helen stroked the baby, so cold, so thin, so still. They're in a pretty bad way, her husband said. Good thing she had a heating pad. She slipped it beneath their tiny bodies and turned it to high. Then she mixed a batch of warm formula and squeezed it into their mouths. Drip, drop, drip. 1, 2, 3 babies began to wiggle. The kitchen filled with the faint chorus of high-pitched cries. She named them Ranganjana, Dhaka, and Rajpur. And once they started eating, they could not stop. Every 3 hours, around the clock. Good thing Helen had Fred to help with those 2 a.m. feedings. By the end of the first week, the babies had doubled their weight to 4 pounds. Days passed, blue eyes open and folded ears perked up. Little teeth poked through the pink gums. Personalities appeared. Ranji cried whenever Helen put him down and bit and scratched when he didn't get his way. Dhaka was forever boxing her brother's faces with her fat little paws, then rolling on top of them and pinning them down. Rajpur liked to sleep. Good-naturedly, he accepted whatever came his way, especially food. Helen let them all get away with sorts of mischief. They romped and tumbled. They snuggled and purred. What a joy it was to have 3 babies in the house. But when they were 3 months old, it's time for the cubs to return to the zoo. Not without me, not this time, she said. When the car came for them, Helen climbed in. Her babies needed her. At the zoo, she turned the glass panel cage into a cozy home. Blankets, bottles, boxes of toys. Good thing Helen brought them all. Then, peeking around the partition, she watched her babies play. She called them back for naps and snacks and cuddles. That night, when the visitors had left the zoo, the cubs sensed that Helen was leaving. Too, Ranja cried, Daka clung to her ankles, and Rajpur scrambled up Helen's arms and wrapped his paws around her neck. Refusing to stay in their cribs, the 3 struggled against sleep. It was midnight before Helen finally tiptoed home. And in her own bed, she tossed and turned. She imagined she heard the babies crying. At first light, she rushed back to the zoo. Her little ones were still curled up fast asleep. She kissed 1, 2, then 3 sleepy cubs awake. Then it was bottles, baths, and time to play. Day followed day. No one noticed Helen. No one told her to go home. Helen began to dream and plan. And she said, is there an empty room around? Fred showed her the storeroom in secret between bottles and baths. Helen cleaned, painted, decorated, and created. A nursery. Good thing Helen had all the baby equipment. That first night, the baby sniffed at the pink ceiling and pale blue walls and ruffled curtains, the cribs and the toys. Then, snuggling close to Helen, they purred. Now the cubs spent their days in the glass panel cage, but they spent their nights with Helen in the nursery. News of the nursery reached the zoo officials. They stormed through the door. They stopped dead in their tracks. Helen raised her chin. My babies need me. The officials looked at one another. So they do, agreed Mr. Crandall, the zoo curator, and he offered her the job of keeper of the nursery. Helen was delighted and surprised. Only men had held zookeeper jobs until now. Helen had mothered her way into becoming the first woman zookeeper at the Bronx Zoo. She and her nursery stayed. The babies grew. Too big for laps, too big for cribs, too big for the nursery. Officials moved them to a larger outdoor enclosure without Helen. They worried the 10-month-old tigers would hurt her. Nonsense. Even though they were twice her size, Helen argued they still run to me for protection and comfort. But zoo officials were firm. Helen would never again be allowed to enter the tiger's cage. Pressed against the outside of the bars, her arms felt empty. But not for long. What a happy zoo family. In that nursery she created, she got to take care of lots of different baby animals. This is a cool book. It's a true story. It's a biography about Helen. And this talks about her. And this is a picture of what she looked like in real life. And then this talks about some of the animals and the source notes. So what a great book. So since April 8th is Zoo Lover Day, I also pulled some fiction and some chapter books that you guys might be interested in. I'm not going to have time to book talk these completely, but for some of our younger friends, I think The Zoo with the Empty Cage is a great little mystery book. Captain Awesome and the Missing Elephants is another great chapter book. So you guys can check those out, put a hold on those, or you can pause the video here and put a hold on them, or you can ask Mrs. Thomas or Mrs. Maselli to help you find those. For our older readers, The One and Only Ivan and The One and Only Bob. These are excellent books. The One and Only Ivan is first. The One and Only Bob is second. They're a pretty quick read. I would definitely read both of these. The One and Only Ivan, the book is much better than the movie. They're both by Catherine Applegate. So check those out. They're definitely about zoos. So those are right up our alley. Elephant in the Garden. This is inspired by a true story. I honestly don't know much about this book and have not read it, but it's here in our Liberty View library. So I would love for a friend to check it out and read it to, or give me a little book talk on it. Tell me what it's about. We have also Don't Feed the Boys here in our library, which is a great little chapter book about, again, zoos. And then some nonfiction that I pulled is What's New? The Zoo. This is a history of all different kinds of zoos. So if you're somebody who likes going to zoos, this is something that you might want to check out because it talks about zoos all over the world and how they got started. I also picked two of my favorite everybody books connected to the zoo. The Gingerbread Man Loose at the Zoo is so funny. I would highly recommend you check that out by Laura Murray. And then my favorite book is The Dumb Bunnies Go to the Zoo by Sue Denham. And the pictures are by Dave Pilkey, the guy who does Captain Underpants. So this is a hilarious book that I really enjoy. I love all the dumb bunnies. So check that out for April 8th, Zoo Lovers Day. All right, April 9th is Unicorn Day, so let's move on. And for this, I'm going to do a read aloud of Unicorns Are the Worst by Alex Willen. This is another book I borrowed from the Johnson County Library, so hopefully it's going to be new to most of you. For hundreds of years, I've gone about completing my important goblin business in peace, from documenting spells to gathering ingredients for spells. Let's see if I can get this a little clearer for you guys. To alphabetizing the ingredients I've gathered for the spells. No distractions, no interruptions, just me and my work. But guess who decided to move into the meadow next door? Unicorns. Look at those unicorns. Now I know what you're going to say. Unicorns are the best. Their unicorns are magical. Blah, blah, blah. It's true. A lot of things are magical, like elves and fairies. And what's the other one? Elves, fairies, and oh, right, goblins. I have studied the forgotten magic that lies deep within the earth. I know that spells can transform socks into slugs. I can turn broccoli into ice cream. And I've mastered the 3-strand braid. But despite all of this, does anyone ever have to ask to have a goblin-themed birthday party? Look at all that unicorn stuff for that birthday party. Wowza. Meanwhile, all unicorns do is frolic around all day on their dainty unicorn hooves. Frolicking isn't even hard. Goblins can frolic. We just choose not to. I don't get it. They're just horses with pointy heads. Horse plus pointy equals unicorn. I have pointy ears, but you don't hear me carrying on about it. And the glitter. So much glitter. Do you realize how hard it is to get glitter out of a smock? They are constantly playing their instruments. Newsflash, unicorns, not everyone likes harp music. And the tea parties. So many tea parties. It's not like they ever ask me to one of their tea parties. Not that I would have time for a tea party when there is all this important work to be done. It's not like the shrub is going to document itself. Do I enjoy a good cup of tea? Perhaps the occasional crumpet? We'll never know, because someone around here has to take their work seriously. You know what? I wouldn't go to one of their silly tea parties, even if they did ask me. You know why? Because unicorns are the worst. Nope. I'd rather be neighbors with gnomes, or this dragon, or a chicken, or wait a minute. Dragon, run for your lives. Save yourselves, my little sock slugs. Gulp. Oh no, make a prediction. What's going to happen here? Well, I guess unicorns do have some good traits. For instance, did you know that their glitter can put out dragon fire? And that harp music can be quite disorientating. And those dainty hooves pack quite a wallop. And it turns out a unicorn's horn is more than just pointy. All right, fine. As far as neighbors go, unicorns aren't that bad, but I think that we can all agree dragons are the worst. So he changed his mind, didn't he? Isn't that a cute book? So talking about Unicorn Day on April 9th, I pulled some of our unicorn books for you guys. We have a new graphic novel. This is open to all grades. It's Grumpy Unicorn Hits the Road, and it is a graphic novel about Grumpy Unicorn. We have another Grumpy Unicorn book that's a fiction chapter book. So on the library page, you can just search Grumpy Unicorn or just search unicorn and it will come up. We also have Ricky Ricotta's Mighty Robot versus the Uranium Unicorns from Uranus, and you'll see all of that in here. We have Unicorns Don't Give Sleigh Rides from the Bailey School Kids. Look at that beautiful unicorn back there. This is kind of a mystery book, great book for all ages. And then for our younger kiddos, Zoe and Sapphires, Unicorns and Germs. Look at that. Look how little she is next to that huge unicorn. So this is all about unicorns and germs. And Zoe Sapphires is the main character, the girl here, and her interactions and what she does with the unicorn. Okay, next up, I have Siblings Day on April the 10th. I know a lot of you guys have siblings. Some of you are only children, and that's fine too. I grew up with 3 siblings, so there was 4 of us kids in my family. This is by Lauren Child, and it's called The New Small Person. Elmer Green started off life as an only child, as many children do. He had a room all to himself, and everything in it was his. He was very proud of his room. He watched all his favorite cartoons on his own little TV set. No one ever changed the channel. He could line up all his precious things on the floor, and no one moved them 1 inch. When his Uncle Cecil gave him a jar of jelly beans, Elmer could eat every single bean all by himself in whatever order he liked. There was no need to worry about anyone eating the orange ones because Elmer Green's parents did not eat jelly beans. Elmer Green's parents thought he was simply the funniest, cleverest, most adorable person they had ever seen. And Elmer Green liked that because it is nice to be the funniest, cleverest, most adorable person someone has ever seen. But then one day, everything changed. Somebody else came along. All right, here's our picture clue on that. The new person was small and didn't do much, but still, people picked it up and smiled at it and gave it things to chew. They all seemed to like it, maybe a little bit more than they liked Elmer Green. The new small person didn't like watching Elmer Green's favorite TV cartoons and would squawk until the channel was changed. Elmer did not find shows for small people at all stimulating, but everyone said that the small person couldn't help it because it was only small. Sometimes the small person would come into Elmer's room and knock things over and sit on things that didn't want to be sat on. Once it actually licked Elmer's jelly bean collection, including an orange one. As anyone knows, jelly beans that have been licked are not nearly so nice. But everyone said Elmer could not be angry because the small person was only small. Elmer Green wished the small person would go back to wherever it came from, but Elmer's parents explained that was not possible. The small person got bigger and things got much worse. And I love this because now he's wearing the outfit Elmer was wearing when he was smaller. So he's handing down his outfits. One day, Elmer found the small person wearing his 4th most favorite outfit without asking. "That's mine," said Elmer. "It's not for small people." "I want to be the same as you," said the small person. But Elmer Green did not want to be the same as someone small. The small person followed Elmer Green everywhere. It wanted to sit next to him. It wanted to copy everything that Elmer did. It wanted to be everywhere that Elmer was. "Where are you going, Elmer?" said the small person. "Nowhere," said Elmer. "Can I come?" said the small person. When the small person said things like this, Elmer Green would go up and sit in a tree. He did not want someone small following him around. One awful day, the small person moved its bed into Elmer Green's room. Now Elmer couldn't get away from it. It was always there looking at him. Sometimes it would stretch out its arms and say, "Huggle!" But Elmer didn't want to cuddle up to someone small. However, one night, everything changed. Elmer Green had a bad dream. It was very upsetting. A scary thing was chasing him, waving its grabbers and gnashing its teeth. Elmer screamed, and the small person bravely got out of bed and clung onto him. Go away, Scary, shouted the small person. It was nice to have someone there in the dark when the scaries were around. A few days later, Elmer Green was lining up all of his precious things so they reached from his bedroom door all the way down the stairs. It was a very long line of things. The small person was amazed. Oh, it said, I could make them reach to the front door if I had more things, said Elmer. I have more things, said the small person. I have at least 5 or 3 things. You can have them. It felt good to have someone there who understood why a long line of things was so special. The next evening, Elmer was laughing at the TV. The small person looked at Elmer and then at the TV, and then he laughed too. It was very funny. More funny somehow with 2 people laughing than just one. Elmer opened his jar of jelly beans. You can have a jelly bean if you would like, Albert. His brother Albert smiled. Elmer smiled back. Whichever color you like, said Elmer. Except orange. Isn't that cute? So that is New Small Person by Lauren Child. And some books we have in our library dealing with siblings is we have this great series by Jessica Day George. We have like 4 or 5, and they're each named after a day of the week. So this is Tuesdays at the Castles, Thursdays with Crown, and these are pretty heavy reading. These would probably be for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And these are about a group of siblings, brother and sisters, who are trying to protect a castle and keep it safe. So it's kind of an action adventure series. A great book for 2nd and 3rd grade is Clementine, this whole series. This is Clementine and the Family Meeting. This is by one of my favorite authors, Sarah Pennypacker. And this is a cute book about a family meeting with the siblings and the parents and grandparents and, Clementine and what's happening with her family. We have the Magic Treehouse series, which a lot of you guys already know about, with the 2 siblings and their adventures. Disaster Strikes, we have a few of these. You can search this on the library page and place a hold on those. This is about friends and siblings and kind of working together. Again, more action and adventure. Treasure Hunters, this is a group of brother and sisters who are out trying to find their parents and this treasure, and there's this awesome map, and this is another series. This is, again, probably a 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade series. I know my oldest son loved the Treasure Hunter series when he was in elementary school. And then Jack and the Geniuses in the Deep Blue Sea. This is about a boy, Jack, and his siblings, and them this is like a mystery, and they're trying to solve some things, but it's also science geared. It is written with Bill Nye and Gregory Moan. So Bill Nye, the science guy, actually helped write this book. So there's going to be some science to it too. So those are all chapter books connected to siblings. The last day we're going to celebrate today is April 11th. And that is Pet Day. And today I'm going to read to you by Tammy Sauer, pictures by Bob Shea, Me Want Pet. Okay? Me Want Pet. Here we go. Oh, make sure I didn't miss a page. And look, it's signed. That's awesome. It must have been an author visit. Cave Boy had lots of things. Rocks, sticks, a club, but no pet. Me sad, said Cave Boy. Want pet. Cave Boy went to find one. He searched near and far until a woolly mammoth. Cave Boy rode Woolly home. Do you think woolly mammoth would make a good pet? Me want pet. Ugh, Mama grunted. He too big. Where he sleep? Cave Boy gave Woolly a hug. Me wish you could stay, pal. Then Cave Boy tried again. He searched high and low until a saber-toothed tiger. Cave Boy and Toothy raced home. Me want pet. Achuga, sneezed Papa. Make me sneeze. No can stay. Cave Boy and Toothy sighed. Me sorry, buddy. But Cave Boy did not give up. He searched across grasslands, overseas, and through forest. Ooga, baby dodo bird. Poor baby, said Cave Boy. No mama anywhere. Wah, wah. Not too big, no sneeze. Me want pet. Ugh, grunted Gran. No keep, he no potty trained. Cave Boy groaned and turned to Dodo. Me so sad. Just then the ground shook. Stampede, yelled Mama. What we do, called Papa. We take cover, hollowed Gran. Gaga, Dodo. No! Cave Boy to the rescue! With a little help from his friends. Puga, cheered the family. Puga. Cave Boy had lots of things. Rocks, sticks, a club. But Cave Boy did not have one pet. Cave Boy had 3. Ooga. All right. And then some books connected to pets that I found. I found some nonfiction books. If you have geckos and guinea pigs and rabbits, we have nonfiction books about those, as well as cats and dogs and frogs and pretty much any pet that you probably have. We probably have a book on it. So you can check out a nonfiction book on your pet. Some chapter books for the younger kids. I have the Critter Club. This is a whole series about some girls who are taking care of different animals and pets. And then the Animal Arc series are about animals. This is Guinea Pig in the Garage, which is kind of fun. This is a great chapter book, some 2nd grade, but 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. We have a whole series of those if you like animals and pets. Dork Diaries, this would be 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. This is the Tales from a Not So Perfect Pet Sitter. So this is when they start a pet sitting business. And then for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, this is another Sarah Pennypacker book. I already showed you one of hers today. Love her. This is Pax. This is a story about a boy who adopts and befriends a wolf when he's a baby cub and becomes his pet. But then the boy has to leave and go live miles and miles away with his grandpa. And after he leaves, Pax, the wolf, tries to go and find the boy. And then the boy tries to come back and find Pax. So it's a really touching story. It was nominated for William Allen White. So it's an award winner. And it's a great story about love and friendship between the boy and his dog. And it's told in different perspectives. So like this is the boy's perspective and this is the dog's perspective, this chapter. So kind of a fun, cool thing. All right, so I hope you guys have fun celebrating April 8th, Zoo Lovers Day, April 9th, Unicorn Day, April 10th, Siblings Day, and April 11th, Pet Day. Take care, stay well, and we'll see you all soon.